Hey crafters, this is nice. So today what we are going to do is we are going to assemble our Valentine's cupcake treat holder. Now, as you can see, I have all of my pieces here. They're cut out. I kind of have them lined up. I have all of my smaller pieces that are actually going to kind of go on my cupcake, like my sprinkles effect. I have them here and pieces of my bow. I've gone ahead and I've glued some of the pieces already down together. So you can see this one here, and then I've got my little bow here. I've gone ahead and I've glued some of these just to kind of make sure that we keep the flow of our video moving along and it doesn't take super long for us here today. And I will be using my art glitter glue for all of my gluing. I also have some paper fasteners here, or brads. We're going to use these to take the handle of our treat holder and actually fasten it to the holder itself. And I'll get into the reasoning why when we actually go to that part. And I also have these little gems. It's kind of like a mixture of gems that I picked up at my local craft store. I'm going to use these in the center here of my bow just to kind of add another little fun effect and embellishment to the design. You can use whatever you have. If you have little pearls, you could use pearls, or just any really kind of gemstone or whatever you might want to use there. Okay? So let's get started. Like I said, I'm using my art glitter glue. I've gone ahead and I've glued this one down already. Well, I've glued these pieces here, and I'll glue it down in another moment. But what we're going to do is we're going to glue these two together. Now, when you have the top pieces here of the cupcake, what you want to do is check orientation. It's going to be super important for this design, because if it's backwards, let's do it this way, you're going to see that it's not going to line up. You can see how it's popping off here at the edge. So you want to make sure that you just check orientation and that you have everything going the right way before you start gluing. Otherwise, it won't line up, and then you're going to have to recut, and that's going to be super frustrating. Okay? So I'm using my glue here. I'm just adding it here to the back of this white part, which is going to be like my frosting of my cupcake. Although I guess there's kind of two, but this lighter blue part here, you can see the holes. They're going to represent my sprinkles, part of my sprinkles there. I'm adding glue now to the back of this one here, and then I'm just going to glue this one down. Again, just taking a few moments to make sure that I get it lined up, and I'm going to lift it up, hold it here between my fingers just to make sure that I've got everything in the right position. I'm also going to go ahead and flip it, and then I'm going to glue down this piece that I've already glued prior to starting the video here. So again, just adding glue to the back, and then I'm going to hold it again between my fingers and just making sure that I get it in the right positioning there. Okay. Okay. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my little hearts down. Now I'm doing this step first. You could wait until the very end, but I'm doing this step first because I've got everything here flat and I can see everything all at once. And these hearts are kind of tiny little pieces, and I don't want to lose them here on my table. I left these as little tiny hearts for us to use because I thought it would give more of an effect instead of having just another layer to it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right here at the top, and I forgot to check the orientation of this heart. So let's hope that, there we go. Good. It's in the right positioning there. Okay. And so again, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to add little tiny dots randomly here on the white part. And I need at least 8 dots here. I've got 7. Let's stick with that for now. And I'm going to use my push pin that I used to kind of clog my glue here so it doesn't dry. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to like jab one of the hearts to pick it up, and then just press it down on top of one of the glue dots that I just made. And kind of go in all different directions for your hearts. There's no wrong way to do it, but you kind of don't want them all up and down like in that 90-degree angle. You kind of want to have a little bit of variation there. And it's a good thing that I didn't add another one there. I'm going to turn this one just a little, and I moved the whole thing. So let me add a little bit more glue right there. And then I'm going to pick this one up and then just change the direction and then just press it down right there. Then I'm going to use my push pin again just to kind of move it around there a little bit. And then let's put this one there. And it's okay, like, you know, you can really put them on any angle that you want. Think about sprinkles. When you dump them out of the container, they just go any which old way. And so random is really what we're going for here. Okay. So there we go. That looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this part down of the bow. What you want to do is pull it down as far as possible until it meets right there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue right there to the back. And then again, just push it until it gets into that right positioning. If you have a little bit seeping through, then just wipe it and you'll be good to go. I'm going to flip this part here so I can do this side as well. And again, just checking it there. And it's just going to give the effect of a little bit of a bow right there on our cupcake as well. And so just pressing it down once more, and that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to wait until I get everything folded before I do the next part. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold everything. So you can see that I glued everything down as well on top of where my score lines are so I can visibly see them. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold here. I'm going to fold along all of these score lines, just really taking time here to make sure that I've got everything correct. And if you want, you can use your bone folder. I've got mine right here. You can use your bone folder just to make sure that everything is turning out nice, sharp, and crisp. It's enough. If you want to just kind of use your fingers, that's okay too. Don't feel that you have to have the bone folder in order for it to work, but it's really helpful with having one with paper crafts here. And I'm just pressing these down. And now we're also going to press it here, right along this the score line here, just to kind of fold it this way. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side again, just making sure that it's all good. Okay. And so now we're ready to glue. So I'm going to make sure that I have it this way going. I'm just going to add a little bit of a dab of glue here to these tabs. And then I'm going to go ahead and just lift up the side and glue the tabs right at the edge here. And so I did two sides, the two different sides at the same time. So you do just kind of want to make sure that you're working kind of quickly, but still correctly. Okay, and so there we go. Now we're going to do the other side as well. Same thing. I think I'm just going to start with one side first. So that way I don't make a mistake. And that looks good there. And so just press and hold it and just really give those tabs a chance to dry. It's super important because you don't want anything to fall apart because it didn't dry completely. And then we're going to do, so let me come back over here on this side for just a moment. And then we're going to do the opposite side as well. So just again, adding a little bit of glue there to the tabs and then just pressing it down. Okay. And so it's super cute already. Like you can see the shape of it and just how well it's turned out. And again, if you have any glue that is not sticking, you can always add a little bit more, or you can just press and hold it. I'm going to put this way and then just use my fingers to kind of press and hold it so it dries there. I might come back in and just add a little bit more glue right there. I got to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So again, just a little bit more. And there we go. All right. Sometimes things just don't want to stay glued together. Okay. All right. So now let's work on our bow. So I've already done this one. I'm going to go ahead and place this one right about here. Now, what you want to do too is you want to make sure that the bottoms here, the tails of the bow, are not sticking out past, because then it'll hit when it sits, okay? So just pull it up a little bit higher if you want. I'm going to do that one about there. Add a little bit of glue here to the back. And then come in here from underneath your treat container, and then just press it down and hold it and give it a chance to dry. Okay. All right, so once you feel like it's dried enough, then you can flip it to the other side. And let's go ahead and make the other bow first. Okay, so I've got this piece here. All I'm gonna do is use my finger just to kind of break up the fibers here of the paper and of the curve. And I'm going to bring the tab in and just make sure that the tab lines up right in the center there. So do the same thing here on the other side. Then we're going to add just a dab of glue, one right there onto the bottom. Hold it there for a second or two, give it a chance to dry. Then add it right on top, and then press the other one down. And again, just give it a chance to dry. Now we're ready to kind of add that tie in the center that kind of hides the bow, or that part of the bow. So we're going to add a dab of glue again right in the center. Press this rectangle square right there in, kind of eyeball the middle. And then we're just going to fold it over on itself to the back side. Okay. And then we're going to lift it up, and then we're going to add our glue again to the back side here. So add a dab of glue first, then press this one in. Hold it for a second or two, give it a chance to dry, then add another dab of glue, press that one in as well, and then give it a chance to dry. Okay, now we're going to do the tails, and the tails are kind of easy. They can be tricky. Oh, my paper's is getting stuck to my table there. So what we're going to do is just kind of overlap them a little bit, okay? So just add a little bit of glue right there, and then press them down together. And so I'm going to leave that there. I don't know what angle I would say that is, maybe 30 degrees. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the glue a little bit further down here. And then taking the side that the center there, you can see the backing. That's what I'm going to press down right here in the center. And so you can see I kind of added mine a little bit more to the center, so the top of the tails here are sticking out at the top a little bit. That's going to be okay, because I'm going to use this gemstone here, and it's going to hide some of that. Okay, so I have that there. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some glue right there on top. And then I'm going to grab my gemstone and press that right down in the center as well. And then press and hold everything and just really give it a chance to dry. Okay, and there we go. So now we'll be ready to add the glue to this side, or add the bow to this side right here. And so again, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add glue at the top and then kind of take it down a little bit with the tails on this side. And then I'm going to press it down and hold it there again for just a couple seconds to give it a chance to dry. Now, don't feel that you have to add this bow too. You know, like all of the pieces here of this bow, they're extra, just, you know, an extra embellishment to add a little bit more fun to it. So if you're like, meh, I don't really like the bow, then don't add it. It's okay. Okay, so now with our brads, we're going to add our handle here. Okay, so I just picked these up at my local Target. They are regular size brads, or paper fasteners here. There's nothing super special about them. And so I have my handle, and there's going to be two ways now that you can add the handle. You can add the handle so that way the handle itself goes in on the inside, okay? Or you can add it so it goes in on the outside. I will say that if you add it to the inside here, what will happen is the purpose of the brads is so that way when we have our handle, we can turn it like this to get into the container. If you add it to the inside, what's going to happen is when you go to turn it, it's going to hit the edge of the holder itself, and it will only go so far. So if you want to have the ability to have the handle kind of go all the way down, then you need to put it on the outside. Again, I'm going to say that's like a personal preference with what you want. I like mine on the outside because I feel like then I don't have any restrictions with adding to the inside. Like my hands won't get in the way of anything. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to hold this one right here where the hole is, and then just fish the brad through. Very easy. Open it up on the inside here, and then press it so it's flush against the paper. Now, if you want, you could go ahead and glue the brad. I don't recommend that because what might happen is you might end up getting a little bit restriction with the paper. But if you glue the brad on the inside, you should be okay, but it might cause some problems with it there. And so I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side here. Again, adding it on the outside, fishing the brad right through the hole there, opening it up, and you can see. So there we go. And so you can get right in on the inside. You can add the handle right there, and then you can hold it. And so it's very cute. And so if you have like different colored brads, like that would be fun too. Okay, so that's it for this project. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting.